Okay, we're live.
Hey guys, welcome to Talking Strongman or Strongman Sunday even.
Strongman Sunday. Come on, Lozzie.
I'm still in the light. It's only 4 p.m. here, so I don't know what's going on. I'm kind of totally off whack. How are you, wife?
Oh, I'm okay. Thank you, husband. I wasn't sure you were going to be here on time. You literally got here 2 minutes ago. How
It's
nice of
very
you
nice
to join
to
me.
see you.
Yes, very nice to see you too. I'm sure everyone's aware, but Loz is in Canada with Mitch, helping him prep for the World's Strongest Man. So I have very cruelly been left alone with the kids and the dog during the Easter half-term break. But never mind.
You're managing. You'll be okay.
Yeah, Mitch is coming, isn't he?
He is. Yeah, he's using the toilet.
Oh, okay, that's fine. We definitely don't want to.
Mitch on lives. He makes a thing of it in his own, and he didn't want to let us down by exempting us from that
From his pre-live poo.
Yes.
Okay, let's see who we've got here. Look, a question for me. Good job, John, because there's no guarantee Loz would have been here. When it comes to everyone talking about the greats, how come Magnus Ver Magnusson never gets mentioned? He's four-time World's Strongest Man, also finished second twice. I have a theory. I think it's because he's so often touted as a smart strongman. People forget how strong he was as well. Because Magnus, if you actually look at his track record on individual events, always won a squat. Yep. He often won a deadlift, overheads as well. He was really genuinely such a strong guy. And I think also maybe some people might consider the 90s a slightly easier or weaker or lighter era. So I think it's probably a combination of the two. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think it's fair though, because
he's without question one of the best strongmen of all time.
Yes,
there's no, he's got to be in there. Yeah. 4-time winner of World's Strongest Man, and you can only beat who you're up against.
Yeah, and if we look at other people in that conversation, so you've got like Zydrunas and Brian, they are known as being in the toughest, heaviest era. So that people don't forget them. Bill was heads and shoulders above the rest. No one forgets Bill. Sure. Marius has won more than anyone, so no one forgets Marius. But Magnus does belong in that conversation as well, I think.
Absolutely.
Where are we? Who is here? We've got lots of members in the chat. Hello, hello, hello. So while we're still waiting on World's Strongest Man events, do we at least know the events for Wiltshire's Strongest? We do. It's, oh, heaven forbid, it's a max deadlift.
How are you feeling about the max deadlift?
Well, I know I can do the opener of 100 kilos.
Deadlift's getting better.
Deadlifts are getting better.
And you're still training hard without me being there, I see?
I've still been training super hard, Lazo. It's something like 140 or 150 kilo yoke. It's a 55 kilo farmers per hand into a 25 kilo dumbbell for 3 reps. Oh, look. 50 kilo sandbag to shoulder. And a 40 kilo axle for reps, overheads. Hello, Mr. Hooper.
Hello, Mr. Charlotte.
How nice to see you. You're like the other person in our relationship right now. Get your arm off of him.
He's on the chair, to be fair, but now he's on the chair. Look at these 2 heads.
I know.
Yeah. I love my sweater. This is my favorite sweater.
It's a good sweater.
It's very good. Was it a Christmas present?
No, it was just a good friend, random day. Thought of being present.
Just saw it and knew.
Yeah. You're very dolled up today compared to usual.
What do you mean compared to usual? I always try and make an effort for lives.
It looks like we've got do we have some lip products going on today?
This is over the year. And if we kind of compare back to, I mean, I might show Mitch some old videos.
No, don't. Old videos of what?
Yeah, they're doing
just lives. Nothing.
So no,
I could show him the thing I sent you the other day.
No, please don't. It's so gross. I hate it.
Well, Liz, we were talking about an hour ago about your ridiculous progress in the gym for how little time you've been like really good at it. It's quite impressive.
Thank you. You mean like actual performance-wise or just aesthetically?
Aesthetically.
Yeah, fair. Fair.
Performance it's been pretty much what you would expect from someone who's committed.
Yeah, nothing too special, but certainly better than
your shoulder's strange. Like your shoulders.
I know.
Her biceps are ridiculous.
So
the
crazy.
amount of people that ask me if I'm on gear, and I'm like, for what? To get in a bikini in the summer? No, I'm really not.
I asked lots. I asked an honest question. Yeah.
No. Literally creatine. I can't explain it either, but I guess maybe like you, I'm different, Mitch. I
said that to Mitch. I said I was surprised that he mentioned it because he's a freak of nature.
Yeah.
And, there are people that just have good genetics out there.
Yeah.
But when it's not involving himself, he just thinks of everyone else as normal.
Well, you'll be pleased to hear I'm not. But we all knew there was something off about me. So, how has training been going this week, you two?
Great. Yeah.
Training has been awesome.
I saw the 1,000-pound deadlift. Very, very nice.
Yeah, I don't hold anything back, so I'm happy to talk about everything. I was doing like 160 kilo stone run-ins yesterday without tacky. So getting that right. I've never practiced running in with stones like we do in the finals. I did 200 kilo stone for 4.9. I failed the fifth. Just because
so close to the fifth.
The yoke was like inching away because I kept knocking it on the way up. What else? 1,000-pound deadlifts.
Overhead medley.
Overhead medley crushed it. No problem at all.
You sent me a video.
Deadlifting's looking awesome. After the 1,000 pounds, we was at 300 kilos for sets of 5. Pause deadlifts.
I saw that.
We've got some heavy partials to do. Well, heavy 18-inch deadlifts next week. Mm-hmm. Still think I believe we can still take time off the overhead medley. Mitch was like, I don't know how we get faster. I was like, your second run, you went 13 seconds faster, and you're like
13 seconds.
Yeah. Wow. So the first run was 1:13. He did, and he was like, I don't see how I can get like under a minute. I was like, you can, and then he did a minute. So now I've said, all right, 55 seconds. So that's the next goal. But
surely as well, like competition with that adrenaline going and everything, and that hunger in the moment.
Yeah, for sure. But look, the thing is, at the moment, if I didn't improve at all, I would be very confident going in. So to have several weeks still to build in, and I feel confident, and it doesn't feel hard or heavy yet. And so it's not like I'm peaking too early or max it too early. I feel great. I feel fine. So it should be more on track to have my best shape yet at World's Strongest Man.
Awesome. I just realized we're quite openly talking about World's Strongest Man events.
I think all of us are at the point of we don't.
Everyone stop caring. I can't believe they haven't released them yet. I don't know what the holdup is.
You asked me how my training is going, and I just told you how my training was this week.
Oh yeah, it's very, very innocent. Totally innocent.
I always know.
Yeah, I think if people really want to find out events, they can very easily by watching the athletes.
Yeah, of course. It's easy enough to piece
Brian
together.
Shaw has announced the events for Strongest Man on Earth. World's Strongest Man needs to announce them.
It's an incredible frustration for the athletes.
It's frustrating for the fans. It's frustrating for the athletes because World's Strongest Man is supposed to be the biggest show. And, if people from Worlds are watching this, we get to communicate a lot with the hardcore fans. I understand Worlds is about the broader picture and, TV contracts and stuff like that. But if we want the sport to grow, we need to get excited. We need to get hyped. We need to be talking about it. And there's just nothing coming from it at the moment. So it's frustrating. For me, it's frustrating. Like the athletes want to be able to freely talk about it, build it up, allow people to watch and get involved and support. And when there's just nothing, it's like, what's the point?
Yeah, I'll be quite open in saying that it has the best title, but it is far from the best show, miles from the best show. Yeah. So
there's a reason we haven't bothered going for the last 6 years.
The thing is, like,
literally everything else.
We want to help it, but it's like
I know.
They hold that back.
I know they make it really difficult.
Yeah.
But it was a bit of a joke you saying at the beginning of that statement. If anyone from Worlds is watching, I'm pretty sure no one from Worlds follows the sport, so I don't think we're really bad. Still, never mind. Let's see what comments we've got. So we've got a members comment here from Andrew saying it was his first visit to the farm. There was a great comp put on by Paddy.
Excellent. Yeah, Paddy had a competition on this weekend. Toby, who's probably in the comments with us, he was competing. So
yes,
he did well.
In there.
And Paddy is always putting on good shows in the farm.
Yeah. I think Paddy's going to be one of our special guests for Strongman Sunday in a couple of weeks.
Good stuff.
So funny. I messaged him. I was like, do you want to do Strongman Sunday with me? He's like, immediately, yes. And I was like, oh, great. And he was like, I'll come round and do it. I was like, he wants to sit in your seat, Lars.
I don't know about that, Paddy. That's a privileged seat.
Well done, Paddy. Cousin Fred gifting memberships. Thank you very much.
How you doing, Fred?
Where are we? Cousin Fred with a members comment. Okay, here we go. Another Sunday with the Chatelets and also with Mr. Hooper today.
Yes, indeed.
And also Fred in with the super chat. Congratulations, Ashley. Hope everything goes smoothly and comfortably. For those not on Instagram, what is Fred congratulating Ashley on?
Yeah, we've got a second baby girl coming in October. So
how nice.
The boys are still working, and
we're proud of you.
I'm proud of them. We're so fortunate. Both times we've tried, it's been first month, no problems, and a lot of people aren't in that situation. So definitely don't take it for granted. But yeah, growing the family would be really special.
First month, very impressive.
Thank you.
I won't stand too close to you. I might get pregnant.
No, it's all in the technique.
Calm down, Liz.
It's all in the technique.
Excuse me. Oh, God. Quick move on. I'm panicking now. So how was your travel to Canada?
Yeah, normal travel. Like, not the best trip, not the worst trip, just a normal trip. Although we'll say this, when I got here, it was damn freezing. But today is absolutely gorgeous. We were outside. Mitch was throwing topless today. You were. Yeah. We kind of need to work on his tan, so that's kind of the, the reasoning behind that. But yeah, it's actually been really nice and great to be out here with Mitch, spending some time with him and the family, and just training hard. It's cool.
Awesome. Yeah, because that was another question. How are you enjoying the weather?
It's got nice because before I came, they had like some freaky storm, didn't you? Some ice storm, and you can see the trees that have come down everywhere.
Yeah,
you were out of power for.
We were out of power for 7 days just before Lars came, but I'm taking him over to Vegas. We leave tomorrow, so we'll have perfect weather for sure for 4 days before we come back.
Super chat.
We'll come back super tanned.
Loz tan so easily. He's only got to go outside in like a warm, cloudy day, and he's just brown. Makes me sick. Michael, thank you so much for the super chat.
Hey, Mike.
How is Mitchell? Sorry, treating you? Ever been away from Liz this long? And thank you for all that you three do for the sport.
Mitch is treating me fantastically. I am literally just part of the family, so it's lovely. I've been away from Liz for probably, I would guess, 10 to 2 weeks, probably the longest.
10 to 2 weeks. 10
days to 2 weeks. But not for a while. We haven't had much time apart in recent time. But so far, it's gone pretty quick. I don't know how it's been for Liz. Maybe a bit slower with everything normal back home. But
it's been a long old week for me. It's not even been a week yet. Oh, God. And Mitch probably treats you better than I do, to be fair.
Absolutely. Way better.
Well, I was saying, just generally speaking, I'm very fortunate to live in a house that has a basement with a guest room, and that's where the gym is, so he can get his training in. And there's a little living room where there's a desk and a TV and whatever. But the average Canadian and American person could not go over to the UK and be comfortable because you guys, your houses are like really sort of like congested and like so many rooms and everything's small. But I think the average European person or UK person could come over to Canada, America very easily because everything's just like open and you can breathe and there's more space. And it's like
Mitch has been showing me houses that we could afford.
Oh, has he? He's still on your case. He's been trying to get us to move to Canada for the last 2 years.
Yeah, Liz, both of us are on your case.
Yes,
you're the only hang-up.
Oh, am I the hang-up?
You are. Yeah.
Sorry.
I also said, and we now can have 572 people attest to this. I said that if Laws and you moved over, we could have a predetermined, agreed upon amount of time that I will continue competing in the sport.
He said he'll keep competing longer if we come over.
I would compete longer if you guys would.
Wait a second. That's really quite unfair to me. So your longevity in the sport hangs in the balance of my decision.
Basically, Mitch is trying to
moving my family to the other side of the world. So you're just trying to turn the fan base on me as well. Thank you so much, Mitch. I don't know why we invited you to this. Oh, dear. Oh, here we go. Good evening, Loz. The most videos I've seen of you lately, you've been sat down watching Mitch's live with you deadlifting, and you're looking in tremendous shape.
Thank you very much. I had a good workout today, actually. I just kind of went down into the basement gym, smashed out a good workout, feeling like I'm making progress. There's still work to do, obviously, but I train all the time. I don't know if people want to see more of my training. I sometimes think my training's boring now, but maybe some people find it interesting, and we can kind of do some different types of videos on that, because I still train pretty much every day. It's just
the result is interesting.
Yes.
The process is not
sure,
interesting.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it's more relatable, I guess.
Like Mitch was asking what I did today, and I'm like, it was rubbish. And I guess compared to the average person, it's not rubbish. I can lift some decent weight still, and I'm still reasonably strong. And I'm feeling like I'm looking in better shape, and I'm certainly making progress. Excuse me. But when you're around strongmen, you just feel weak. So I think like a 300 kilo deadlift is rubbish. So for me, not for someone else, but for me, it's not good.
Imagine how I feel. Question from Michael French. Why did Loz and Erin part ways, and was it amicable?
Absolutely, perfectly amicable. Erin just wanted someone that she can be in person with her more often. She saw videos of like Rebecca coming to train with me, Andrea, and she wanted that as part of her prep. And I totally get it. Me and Erin are still great friends, still message each other and talk to each other. But sometimes some athletes want that in person. Mitch doesn't need that so much. It's nice that I can be here for these 3 weeks, but you don't need that as much.
I don't even understand what the benefit is.
Sure.
Like there is a benefit to you being here and for us doing this, but in terms of like, I would just rather have the best coach that I could choose of anywhere in the world. And if we can be together ever, cool, great. Otherwise, there's really nothing on a consistent basis in the moments that I say, I need someone to help me right now.
Sure.
Different strokes for different folks.
And
though,
no, fair enough.
Me and Erin had a great conversation, and she was very thankful because every comp she did with me, she did amazing at. She PB'd on almost everything at the Arnold. She won the world title. We had great results, but she likes that in person, just almost like a team around her every day. Like, I guess like you and me can be in the gym. Like I'm there to change things. I'm not with you all the time when you're training, but if you need something, you've got the question to ask.
Can you share? Is it like an emotional support thing?
I think for some people it is.
Yeah, I think so.
Everyone's very different. Like
I need more emotional support than physical support in the gym, definitely.
Yeah.
Psychological support.
Yeah, some people just want reassurance as well.
Yeah.
Like you're so self-confident in what to do and what you're capable of. Other people just need that reassurance. They think they kind of know, but they want that nod that yes, it's the right thing to
do.
Butthead 45 rules. Thank you for the super chat. Loz, Liz, and Mitch. If offered to walk out with Trump during the UFC entrances to American Badass, would you? Mitch, can you beat Loz on Naked and Afraid?
Oh.
I'll answer the second half first. The Naked and Afraid. Could I beat Loz on Naked and Afraid? No, because if I was naked, two things. One, I would stand out like I would be a big white target for any animal wanting to eat me. He would blend in a bit better. I'm
glad you said you'd stand out because you're white. And
I wondered where that was going.
Where you were going with that.
Well, the second half is that they think there's this big invasive white snake species, and all the animals will be trying to lob it off. First bit, walk out with Trump to UFC entrance to American Badass. Okay, I know we don't want to say too much about this stuff, but could everyone just calm down about the Trump and whatever? He's doing some stuff that hurts Canada. It's sort of temporarily hurt the world economy. Is it something that we're going to talk about in 10 or 15 years? Probably not. Do I think that everything he does is right? No. Do I think everything he does is wrong? No. Like, okay, I actually don't have any emotional feelings. So the question is, would you walk out and be associated with the most well-known person on the face of the earth? You would be stupid not to say yes.
I wouldn't want to, purely because I wouldn't want that many people seeing me. There's no need. No need for me to
who was. Right. Regardless of who it was.
Well, if I was being paid, yeah, but I don't really know how I could leverage that into an income. So, no.
Oh, Liz, if Hak Tua can be rich through that.
Maybe I could like set up a little website before I walk out of him and sell some feet pictures or something. I don't know.
Just ski mask with jacked arms out, OnlyFans set up, ready to go. There's already ski mask girl. So like ski mask girl 2.
And it would just all be about the arms.
Yeah.
Oil, or like.
Would anyone pay for Liz's arms? She gets them out for free anyway, but.
I do. I'm gonna have to start covering them up, so I'm not recognizable by them. Right.
I wonder who out of the 3 of us would get the most for arm pictures.
I don't know.
Always the woman.
I think Liz, then Mitch, then me.
Probably. Sorry, mate. I mean, babe.
Deformed arms. We did a funny reel that Mitch will be posting soon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you'll have to look out
for. When Hooper thinks you're on gear, you're definitely doing something right. I do try to take it as a compliment.
Here's the thing. What Lars was saying about, like, when I see someone else, I just see everyone else as normal. Right. I've come to understand that physically I'm not normal, but my frame of reference is still everyone else in the world. And you just don't see everyone else doing I can still appreciate someone else doing something really well for themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're definitely doing something right, but I wouldn't put too much weight in my word. I just say whatever comes to mind.
I'll put weight into it if you're saying something nice.
Sure. Hold on to those few and far between.
Yeah, so rare. We got a super chat here from Scott. Thank you very much, Scott. Insane watching a casual 456 kilo deadlift in training. Looks to move very nicely. Good luck for Worlds.
Yeah, he's looking very, very strong.
First time back in the suit as well. Looked a little bit snug, a bit more snug than usual, Mitch. Are you bigger than normal?
Not to my knowledge, no.
I think it was just because I did the suit for him and not you.
No.
I think it's just there's well, okay, first of all, when you do say a giant slab actual deadlift for reps, it's different putting the suit on than to maximum. So I just prefer it a little bit looser when we're doing an axle for reps, so it wouldn't look as tight. And then I haven't been in that suit at all since World Tour Finals in October. So we're talking 6 months out of a suit. Like, just it feels more uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So
first session in it is going to be uncomfortable as well. We kind of watched it back. There's a few little positional things we can work on. Just need a bit more time getting used to it, to be honest. But I think how many people put the suit on for the first time and pull 1,000 pounds?
Wow.
You know, it's scary where Mitch's level is right now. And you both know what I'm like. You know, I believe Mitch will pull 505 this year. And I'm very unlikely to say that unless I mean it. But he's just looking.
Have you believed since Thor did 501 that anyone was going to do it?
No.
This is the first time.
First time.
Yeah, I can.
First time with like confidence.
Yeah, like before there's been maybe a 25% chance, but not like fully on board. And that's probably what I was seeing, Mitch. Maybe it wasn't looking snugger. You were just looking a bit less comfortable than usual. Was the time?
Yeah. So like, for example, my feet weren't in the right spot. I was just like, I rushed into it a little bit. So there's that because my head felt like it was going to pop off. Then I always find at first in a suit, that top half becomes really weird because you don't know how to sit into it exactly right straight away.
Yeah.
There's a few things I'm going to do. I'm going to get a custom suit that I'll start training in post World's Strongest Man. Of course, going to train for more than one session. But let's say 456. What could I have done? Let's say 480 might have been 100% max out, right?
Yeah.
Okay, add in competition excitement. Maybe on that day in a show with excitement, it was 490, 495. Yeah. It's not that far away. It's really not.
The funny thing with Mitch as well, like he'll do something like that and then just casually just get on with his day. Whereas I can imagine someone else doing that, like doing nothing for the rest of the next 2 days.
Yeah, I know.
The next day he's lifting 2 stone sessions. We did a stone session in the gym without tacky, focusing on, just carrying stones and stuff like that. Then we did heavy Atlas stone type training with tacky, going up to 200 kilos, sets of 5. We've been doing like heavy overhead work, throwing. Every day we're doing something. And well, not every day. We have rest days, but like everything is pretty heavy at the moment in terms of training. These 3 weeks are the heaviest weeks he's going to have in training leading up to Worlds. And you cope better than most people do in terms of being able to recover. And like literally, I've got about 100 odd clients, and there's only 2 that I can push as hard as Mitch. if I push normal people as hard as I push Mitch or another guy that I train, they will overtrain very, very quickly. He is a freak of nature when it comes to that ability to recover.
Who's the other guy?
Gav Bruce, who's a Scottish athlete who won a competition this weekend, actually.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, he's an under 105 athlete that has very good work capacity.
I find it part of it when it comes to the neural side. How do I say it? Not rude. Certain amounts is how fragile do you allow yourself to be? I just don't give myself the choice to do anything but move on with my day. And what I would compare it to on difficult days. So you know how sometimes at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you hit that wall and you just want to go to sleep?
Sure.
But you push through it for half an hour and you're completely fine. Yeah. I find that's the case.
And it's like, when we're setting up for stones, a second stone session of the day or throwing that we did today, the first few reps feel horrible. You're not warmed up. Your body's tired. It feels crap, doesn't it?
And it's kind of nice. Now you can vouch for me. You see, I don't go into that second half of the stone session going like, all right, it's time. Let's kill it. It's like, we got to do it. We got it. There's no choice.
Yeah. And it's normal. I mean, we've had conversations, me and Liz have had conversations. I see people kind of complaining about tiredness all the time. That's normal. Being tired is normal. One of my clients messaged me the other day, said, I couldn't finish my cardio today because I was so tired. I had to have 10 hours sleep, but I'm really worried about it. It's like, why are you worried? It's just,
we're all tired. If we train, if we don't, if we've got kids, if we're not, we're all tired after a certain age.
Normal to be tired.
Yeah. Comment here saying that they were really happy to see Mitch be really real about World's Strongest Man on his overhead live. I always kind of thought Mitch was too corporate to be real, so that was cool.
What real
too
stuff
cool,
doing?
too cool for it to be
too corporate.
Too corporate.
I was too corporate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyone who knows me well at all knows that I'm not corporate in any way. I was just talking. I was talking about some of the stuff with Worlds that is really annoying to me. And look, you can't fault any guy who doesn't want to come out and say something about World's Strongest Man in any negative light, because really there are very few automatic qualifying spots to World's Strongest Man, and you're jeopardizing your future in the sport, your family, all of that to come out and say it. So if I'm in a spot where I go, worst comes to worst, I'm not invited to World's Strongest Man next year, doesn't bother me. That's fine. It will cause them more headache than it will cause me at this stage, I believe. But I also recognize I will be fine without World's Strongest Man, and World's Strongest Man will be fine without me. I don't overvalue myself in that way. But I am in a position where I can confidently come out and go, here are the problems with Worlds, and here is why it is entirely possible that I don't compete at World's Strongest Man ever again, because there is a level of respect that I expect from people who I work with. And it's the respecting. It's not making a mistake. So say Brian messing up the axles last year, or Giants when they had one pad in the overhead. I will be the first one to go like, it is fine. Shit happens. We'll move on. But when you're expecting the family of the competitors to pay for their tickets to watch, and you're a multi-billion-dollar organization, I don't understand. When you don't release the event, so I can't make content, no one can make content, you guys can't promote it, what's the point? When you have these old TV contracts that ultimately the production is terrible. I don't know anyone who actually likes the end production of World's Strongest Man.
It's horrible.
And I'm sorry if that offends anyone. And again, if anyone from Worlds is watching, I'm sorry if that offends you. I'm sorry if that upsets you. But it's bad. I don't like it. I don't like to watch it. When I won, I didn't watch it. It's not interesting to me. And if it's not interesting to me and I want it, who is watching this? I also see during social media times that World's Strongest Man is on. My social media does not spike in any discernible way. It does not improve. So I don't know where they get their numbers from of how many people are watching, but it spikes more when there's like the CBS viewing of the Arnold or from the Rogue Invitational. So I don't understand that many people are watching. I don't know if that's true or not. And maybe it is, but I don't know. I don't see evidence on my side. I don't see sales spikes in any of my businesses when it airs. It's the fourth highest paying show. They've sold tickets.
You're not going to.
I'm still ranting.
Keep ranting.
I'm still ranting. They've sold tickets in 2 years, paid tickets that you guys are paying, and they have not increased the prize money at all in the past 3 years. So we're now in the second year. We now have Rain, who has left because they don't want to deal with them. I have a major sponsor who wanted to be involved, and they were too much of a pain in the ass to be involved with. It's financially makes no sense for some of these sponsors to be involved because they don't get the exposure they want. It's overinflated. on and on. FanFest this year will be smaller than last year. That is a colossal failure of World's Strongest Man to try to make that great. Tier was there in 2023 when I won. They left that event saying, we want to be the title sponsor when SBD is up. 2024, they want to come back, and Worlds did something like doubled the price for them to attend. So, well, it doesn't even make sense for us to attend it anymore. We're sorry, we can't support you. I don't blame you, because it annoys the crap out of me as well. And on and on. The contracts that they've made us sign that I'll talk about someday, they are absurd. Some of the stuff in there, I don't care to say this. This year, they've tripled the payment time frame from 30 days to 90 days. And for me, I don't care. That's fine. But for a guy who's coming here from somewhere overseas, they work a normal job. They're bringing out a couple of family members who have to pay for their own tickets. And then that guy comes 5th or 6th in his group. He makes several $100s to take a week off of work to fly across the world, to fly his family across the world, for them to buy their tickets. And you're telling me that you can't pay that guy within 3 months? The average show pay time frame is, I would estimate, to be 5 or 6 days. Giants being 2, Arnold's being 3, Rogue Invitational, there was a week and a half or so this year. Why does Worlds need 3 months to pay out money to us? All of these things, you stack them together on top of many, many other more egregious contract stipulations that they had. And I can't ethically be a part of that moving forward. And I had meetings with them last year between the heats and the finals, and I was assured that conversations would continue and things would improve. They took things out of the contract that were just completely untrue, i.e., if you release your participation in the event, you are liable for material damages, which could be millions of dollars that they release as well, and we collaborate and we're in breach of contract because of it. They took out stuff like that, but then they tripled the payment time frame inexplicably. And so this constant disrespect, and if I am vocal about it, you guys know how many athletes read the rules, never mind read their contracts. If I can be the person to read the contract and bring light to some stuff that is absolutely ridiculous, then I'd love to be that person. And frankly, I have more respect for the title. If someone told me in 10 years' time, I won World's Strongest Man or I won Strongest Man on Earth, I have more athletic respect for the person who won Strongest Man on Earth than World's Strongest Man. And as much as World's Strongest Man is the title, and it is the most important title right now, if this continues, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, it won't be the most.
Yeah.
You're 4th highest paying. You are, in my opinion, the worst run.
The other comps have definitely leveled up.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Worlds hasn't. It felt like it was for a small period, and it just feels like it's taken a big step backwards.
And here's why I speak about it publicly. And this is the biggest problem. If I have a problem at Giants Live, I call Darren. Darren, I have a problem with this. What's the deal? What's going on? And I've never had a problem with any other show other than just talking about rules and what I don't understand, rules, stipulations. Otherwise, treatment's been great. I have a problem at the Arnold, I call Jan Todd. I have a problem at the Rogue Invitational, I can call Katie Henniger. I have a problem at World's Strongest Man. I don't know who to call. I don't know who's in charge of anything. I hardly know anyone on the team. All I know is that their email ends in @IMG, and that's someone who's involved with World's Strongest Man. It's impossible to decipher and figure out. And then you bring up a problem and say, okay, we'll have a meeting on that. And then they'll get 10 people in the room for a meeting about where the athlete tent is going to be, or just some sort of nonsense. And anyway, I'm at my wit's end with it from a respect point of view, not from anything else. The show could go horribly. Anyone could run a show and it could suck or whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It could even be unfair, and the reffing could be unfair. And you could pick bad refs. I don't care. It's sport. It happens. Disrespecting the people who make you the money that you make is a major problem in my eyes.
Yeah.
Damn. That was a good answer, Mitch. Thank you.
Didn't expect that tonight, did you?
I'm over it.
I love it. I fucking love it. Love the tea. I need to fill up my cup. Alejandro, thank you so much for the super chat. Pretty awesome. Strongman made it to Business Insider. Strongman is in a great place with loads to improve on.
Yeah, I got to find out who wrote that article and reach out to him.
What was it about? Was it about you?
No, I haven't seen it.
It was why 505 kilos is nearly impossible to lift.
Oh, that one. Yes. Yeah.
So I would love to work with him on the back of that. I have a magazine. I think I could talk about this. I have the funniest magazine coming to cover me at World's Strongest Man.
Which one?
I'll give you a hint. It's a kind of a men's high-end fashion magazine, and it's 2 letters.
Oh.
The second one being Q.
Yeah.
GQ. Yeah, I'm going to be in GQ.
That's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
I'm going to have to dress you up a little
I don't think I'm going to fit well.
No.
It's the shorts edition.
Shorts edition.
El Prez Cat, when you said Paddy, I was thinking the UFC fighter.
Paddy the Baddy.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Could he sit in your chair?
Yeah.
And if you told him he couldn't, he'd kick your ass.
Yeah.
I like listening to him. He's quite
funny, isn't he?
He's funny, but he'll talk about like mental health and treatment of men and stuff. It's quite powerful.
Yeah.
Loz's favorite strongman is Magnus Samuelsson. Whom is Mitch's favorite strongman? Mitch.
Loz. yeah. I don't like athletes. I like people, and it's hard for me to have a favorite person that I've never met. So it would be my closest friend who's been a strongman, who would be Loz.
There you go. Very nice. Alejandro again with the super chat. Thank you very much. Also, congrats, Mitch. Like in shows, you don't pull out and you're on top of the podium yet again. You haven't ever pulled out, have you? Of a competition. We're not talking about what we were talking about earlier.
Was that 7 wins in a row now?
7 wins in a row. Yeah.
23 podiums.
I think
Nice.
so, yeah.
From 24 shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that you finished every show is a testament to your durability.
I've had reasons to not finish.
Yeah. Well, you haven't actually finished every show because sometimes you've won before the last event.
That's right.
So technically he's pulled out of shows.
Technically, I guess. Yeah.
I believe 5 of the last 7.
A couple of Giants lives. Yeah.
But I think it's important if you know, as strongmen, we're going to get hurt, and that's okay. But if I'm a bit hurt in a competition, that's when I'm willing to be hurt. So I'll compete hurt and I'll hurt myself more because that's just what you sign up to do. The worst one is I tore my hamstring on the first day of Shaw Classic in 2024, and we were going into
23.
24.
No, last year was that?
Oh, sorry, yes.
Yeah,
I'm 1 year ahead. 3. And then we were going in for max deadlift, bag toss series, power stairs. It was a tough day for a bad hamstring. But ultimately, you just get on with life, don't you?
Members comment here from Apprentice Alex. Video idea, greatest one-time winners of World's Strongest Man. We'd have to do it quick. And right now it would be you, Mitch.
Yeah.
I think.
Without question.
I think that's, yeah.
Without question.
Well, I don't want to lose that title.
Don't win then.
You could maybe become the greatest two-time
winner.
How many 2 times champions are there?
Yuko Ahala,
Yuko Ahala.
Bruce Wilhelm.
Anyone else win it twice?
I don't think so.
No, I can't think of anyone else.
No, because Eddie Martins Thora won it once. There was a couple of 4-time winners. And there's a few 1-time winners. No, I think that's it.
I think only 2 2-time winners.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because Tom's won it 3 times. So
he has, yeah. Marcus, thank you for the super chat. Are the 25 guys for Worlds now full? Have not heard anything from Thor the last weeks, and Worlds is just around the corner, hoping for a big battle. Yes, we are waiting for the official announcement of the final 4 names.
Yeah.
But yes, all slots are taken now, and reserves are in place also.
I love your guys' little sleuthing that you know.
We know.
Mate, I know because I fucking ring people and ask a lot of questions. But then I can't share it. It's very sad. Yeah. Very sad. What's the point in knowing?
Well, man, I forgot. We don't even know. They haven't even released all the guys coming. Never mind the events.
No.
Yeah.
Even we won't get groups until
there's little invitation posts, and there's people on those invitation posts that have said no. So, you know, it's crazy.
I know. But there we go. Alex, thank you for the super chat. Hi, everyone. I broke my tibia and fibula this week. After the surgery, what advice would you give for rehab and getting back into lifting?
Bones repair stronger than they were before. So you don't have to have too many considerations once the healing process has happened. Now, the type of fracture is important and the degree of the fracture is important. But after you have been immobilized for whatever period of time you've been told to, you don't need a rehab process like, say, a torn tendon or a torn muscle. You're good just to kick back in. Now, you want to get into things relatively slowly and build up just because all your muscles will be atrophied. But it's just back to basic training principles. Broken bones are kind of the least complicated things to come back from. So just take your time and let that bone fully heal. And once it is, then go off and get back into training.
There you go. Click on this one just because it's quite funny. Liz and Loz need to move to Texas and spend the summers in Mitch's basement. Sounds creepy.
Half the year in Texas and half the year in Canada would work.
Which half? All right, so winter in Texas, summer in Mitch's basement.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
That's Mitch's plan.
Yeah, Ash and I are looking at real estate in Austin.
Best of all worlds.
Yeah.
Cousin Fred, thank you for the super chat. Liz, stay in England. Other than Max and Sam, Canada sucks. Oh, you're not part of what makes Canada great, Mitch.
If that's Fred's assessment, then I have no problems.
Where are we?
What would Fred to say moving to America? What would Fred tell us to stay in the UK if we said we were moving to America?
There we go. Fred, let us know.
Depends how close Liz moved to him.
Shut up, you two. Ryan, thank you for the super chat.
Outside your house.
Maybe you tell me to stay in England.
I have never been to a Strongman event, but I want to go to Strongest Man on Earth. Crazy what Brian is doing. Scared and excited, rooting for Mitch.
You should definitely come to Strongest Man on Earth. It's a great show.
What are you scared about? I have to do it. It's horrible.
It's quite funny.
Fans that care, we need them.
It's nice to see caring fans.
Yeah, definitely. I'm scared.
But it's a good show to come to. There's a lot going on for fans at Strongest Man on Earth.
I think
he's
done
a really good job in the past couple of years of expanding the things for people to do outside of just watching the pro Strongman.
It looks like it's getting bigger each year as well, so it's cool.
Yeah, I think it's the perfect weekend for a Strongman fan if you are happy to invest a full weekend into the sport that you love.
Sure. Definitely.
Yeah, Giants Live is like the smaller, more manageable, bite-sized shows, isn't it?
It would actually, you could very clearly say which show you should go to based on what kind of fan you are.
Yes.
If you're a casual fan who loves strength sports, the Arnold is the place to go. If you're not much of a fan, but you love entertainment, Giants is the place to go. If you like CrossFit and you like, obviously, Rogue Invitational is the place to go. Mm-hmm. And if you're just Strongman, but you are willing to invest in a full weekend, then the Strongest Man on Earth. It's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah.
Who should go and watch World's Strongest Man?
If you have absolutely nothing better to do from May 15 to 17, you should watch World's Strongest Man.
George asking where I can actually watch Europe's Strongest Man. So it's on Official Strongman. You do need to subscribe, but you can cancel your subscription immediately and you'll still have a full.
You can watch all the past Giants Live shows, I believe, if you sign up.
Yeah. Where are we? Trying to catch up a little bit because we fell behind.
Sorry, that's my fault.
No, you're fine. No, it was a great moment. I'm glad it's on our channel.
Me too.
Great content, Mitch. Thank you.
I'm not taking responsibility. I'll just say I was following your script.
Yeah. You were under duress. I'm at the point in comments where people were talking about buying bicep pictures.
Oh
wow, we were a little bit.
Any offered for any of us?
Toby's not convinced there's anyone out there wanting torn bicep pics.
Definitely not.
Toby, you are wrong. There's someone out there who wants a picture of anything.
Yeah, that's true. If it exists. It's called like rule something, isn't it? Rule 28 or so. Oh, I don't know. Dalton saying, Loz, now I'd subscribe to your OnlyFans first out of principle.
Thanks, Dalton.
Out of politeness.
I'll make it free to people.
Yeah, no one wants
to have the ability to open comments. Liz, can I open a comment?
Yeah.
I think this
of course you can.
I want to touch on this one. The way Mitch is calling out WSM, it really feels like he's the new Brian for this stuff. I love it. I am kind of the new Brian at World's Strongest Man, not because I want it to take a place, just because if I have something to say, I say it, and I'm proud of myself for that. The difference, though, between me and Brian is that Brian had problems with World's Strongest Man. He also had problems with the Arnold. He had some problems with the Giants guys. He was very particular in multiple circumstances. I have no problems with the Arnold. I have no problems with Strongest Man on Earth. I have no problems with Relocation. There are things I don't like about them, but I don't see them as problems. I just see them as things that I prefer and don't prefer.
There's always going to be things people want different.
Fine,
that's
sure,
normal.
And I think I am an exceptionally reasonable person that's exceptionally vocal when something's not right. And I have no problems with anyone except for World's Strongest Man. They're the only people I have problems with. And that should say as much to you guys as anything, because I would say anything about having a problem with anyone else. Obviously, I don't. I only have a problem with one show. And it's not irreparable things. They are reparable things that if effort is made and care is taken, it can be totally fine. But it's just not that way at the moment.
Here's a fun, light-hearted one. Loz, it was the university boat race today. How would Mitch cope if he was dropped into the Cambridge team? Cambridge won by several boat lengths.
How would he cope? He'd probably cause the boat to sink. I mean, Mitch would have some tremendous power ability, but I think even Mitch would struggle with the conditioning level needed for that at this moment in time.
No, because that would be the coxswain.
Oh, yeah. Row. Just tell them what to do. With the boat sinking and the other athletes up in the air like that.
The oars can reach the water.
I think you put Mitch and myself on like a concept 2, we'd probably be okay. But actually in water, I think I don't think we're designed for that.
Yeah. Fred says me in a boat would sink it.
Toby Toby is asking if the events haven't been revealed for Worlds because they want to announce them with sponsors attached and they're struggling
to get something about this earlier, where people have got like a theory that they're waiting for sponsors. Normally, there's a number of reasons World's Strongest Man don't announce things quickly. It can be sponsors. It can be location is a big thing with World's Strongest Man. They probably haven't finalized where they're going to do certain events. And that can affect what events they do because they will, some events just aren't possible in the locations that they use. And I think World's Strongest Man have learned from the past that they don't like to announce things until they're certain. However, how hard is it to sort out location and sort out events? It's one of the problems with Worlds. I get their answer, I understand, but how hard is it to sort out those issues? Take it back to when I did the Norse Hammer. They didn't test it. They should have athletes that have gone and tested these in the locations that they're doing them and, realize, it's fine to do that or it's not fine to do that. It should have been done and dusted and the events should be posted and we should all be talking about them.
Lots and lots of support for your rant, Mitch. Grateful to hear such honesty from his experience. Well done, Mitch. Things need to change, but it will never happen if athletes aren't prepared to speak up. This is great.
Absolutely. How many times, when Brian was at Worlds, I was the only other athlete that used to say anything.
I know.
And athletes do need to speak up. Like Mitch is the best person to speak up because he's the highest profile guy that's going. But guys like Tom need to speak up. Guys like Luke need to speak up. Guys that
there are other people in a position to,
that are in the same position that all want the same things, but sometimes they just quiet when it comes to voicing an opinion.
I think it's funny that the fans voice so much support because I understand the fan gripes of we want to know the events and we want it live streamed but for me, that's just the tip of the iceberg for the actual problems that I'm complaining about. You guys are frustrated, but only to a fraction of what the athletes should be frustrated by. The difficulty is when you have the best title in the world, sometimes people are just blind to the excitement of it occurring. For example, the first year I signed this contract, I read it, and there was a lot of things not right about it. But I have nothing to lose. Sue me for $10 billion for I care. It's not there. Where now I do. So I appreciate the support, but I don't think you guys know how obvious these problems are.
The frustrating thing for all of us as athletes or people that are working within the sport is we want it to be bigger. I want World's Strongest Man to be bigger than it is. You guys want World's Strongest Man to be bigger and better than this. Mitch wants World's Strongest Man to be big. Of course, he wants
it
to be
benefits everyone.
Money. He wants it to be a bigger event so he gets more eyes on it to help him.
No, just to help us. But I want more people to see World's Strongest Man, so more people can compete in the parking lots of their local grocery store or whatever.
Sure,
that's it. I just want people to get involved.
But to get people involved in it, if that is the biggest sport, they need to do a better job and make it better. 100%. But it's not about my prize. I make plenty of prize money. That's fine. I know.
Whatever.
All right, take you out of it. Say Evan Singleton wants to compete for bigger prize money.
Sure.
All the athletes, the guys that are going there and maybe they're going to come third to last in the group. It's not even worth going when you're taking that week off from work.
When you think about the sport, there are a million ways to make a living. And so since we've chosen this way, and I'm this way, and I've gotten in fights with friends over it, I'm very much the way where if you have a job and you don't like the money or the circumstances or whatever, quit the job and move on.
Sure.
But in this circumstance, partially, there are so many people who can get so many good things from participating in the sport at a low level. There's a lot of people on the stream right now would be, where these people could improve their health and their confidence and their strength and their long-term prognosis. You can have a 20-year-old girl try to be strong and have people cheering for her for the very first time. And worlds are robbing people of that hand over fist because they do a shit job. And that's what pisses me off. Not really the prize money. It's a part of it. Not really it's just that. You are inhibiting the sport from growing, which then hurts so many people who don't even know that it exists.
Members comment here. Thanks, Mitch, for pulling the curtain on World's Strongest Man. I want to address this comment. Who is responsible for these World's Strongest Man failures? Colin Bryce, who is in charge? I would like to point out, not a single thing that you've complained about that, like, you know, the underlying issues and disrespect. Colin has nothing to do with any of that. Not a single thing there is.
If you listen to what Mitch said, he has no problem with Giants Live. Colin,
it's IMG.
Aaron Sadler run Giants Live.
Yeah.
IMG is who you're dealing with when it comes to World's Strongest Man. And IMG isn't a person, it's a company.
In fact, when I have a problem that I would like addressed, I call Giants, who will talk to the right person at Worlds, because they have contacts, which, by the way, they don't even know who the right person is. Darren will just call the highest up person that he thinks is relevant and then get filtered into some colossal meeting about some. Anyway.
But it's wrong that people think that associate Colin and Darren or Giants with World Strongest. It is the qualifying tour. That's the only thing.
Yeah. And they run the competition on the ground, but they don't have any control over the organization of the competition at all. They are employees. They're contracted, aren't they?
Yeah. It's akin to Rain discontinuing your favorite flavor, and then you get pissed off at me about that.
Yeah.
Like I just like it. I just drink it. I endorse it. That's it.
Yeah. Dalton with the members comment, Mitch, you better be wearing the right shorts for GQ.
3-inch bad boys, you love them. I'll keep that in mind. In fact, for the strangest Alabama comments of my life, my sister says, I was thinking about what you should wear for GQ. I said, what's that? She goes, the 3-inch shorts and no shirt. Like, weird from your sister. But,
someone screen record that rant before it's deleted tomorrow. Only I have the power to delete something from this channel, and no way is that going anywhere. Okay. I mean, Loz could. He just wouldn't know how.
What people should know, though, is that, yes, I complain. Absolutely. But it's negative today. Sure, fine, whatever. But the evidence to say that I am here willing to participate and communicate and help them grow and help do good things is how hard I am training for the show and the shape that I will turn up in. That is me showing that I care. If I didn't care, I just wouldn't go.
Sure.
That if I wanted to hurt them, that's the best thing I could do, is just not turn up.
Yeah. Scott, thank you for the super chat. Eddie versus Marius. Who have you got winning?
Who have you got winning that?
Marius.
I'd like to see Eddie win, but I think Marius will win. Marius has a lot more experience. He's in Poland. I think everything is up against Eddie on this one.
Why would you like to see Eddie win?
Just to support the British guy. I think Marius, I've met Marius a fair few times, competed with him. And I think what Eddie does is quite interesting in terms of the amount of fans he's got into Strongman. A lot more than, say, Marius has.
Sure.
Similar to yourself. Like, obviously, because you were looking at doing that fight, I'd be supporting you, obviously. But, and also, I've competed in Poland a number of times, and it was always pretty corrupt.
Sure.
And I've seen fights in Poland that have been pretty corrupt, like Ollie Thompson's been over there. He's a friend of mine. I think he's up against it. So just being the underdog in this situation, I don't really like either more than the other, but I'll support the underdog. And I think Eddie is a big underdog in this one.
If they put in equal amounts of work and Eddie was the underdog, I would 100% do it. And I don't know Marius from a hole in the wall, and I know Eddie, and I like Eddie. But I think just for my personal view of the world, I would be upset to see the guy who's trained for 6 months beat the guy who's been a professional for 7 years.
I think Marius has had 27 pro fights.
Yeah.
He's got so much more experience.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting because obviously Eddie's younger, stronger in terms of gym lifting. Strong for fighting is a little bit different, though. And Marius is extremely strong. So it's going to be interesting.
Daniel's saying, did you watch Europe's Strongest Man, Mitch? And what were your highlights? Anyone you're excited to compete against?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. The live stream was awesome. I thought the show was running really well. My highlight was seeing Luke win. Of course, we're friends. And he's been through so much that I don't know a single person who wasn't elated to see Luke win. In terms of excited to compete against people, Luke's in good shape, so I'm not excited to compete against him. It'll be a bit of a pain in the ass. I think the biggest win of the day, two big wins of the day, were Paddy Haynes and Andre Foytu, who got their invites to World's Strongest Man through those performances. So really, really happy for those guys. Massive wins. And yeah, I don't want to say I'm excited to compete against anyone because I see it as a bit of a disrespect. If I'm excited to compete against you, unless you're ultra famous, say the first time I was competing against Thor, if I said I'm excited to compete against X, it would sort of mean that I think I could beat them very easily.
Excited to beat you.
Yeah. But I'm happy that they made it. I'm happy to have them out there. Both Paddy, Andre, and Luke Richardson as well. All good dudes from as far as I know. So yeah.
Beesums with the super chat. Thank you, Loz. Why did we pick a sport where we're beat up year round? Cheers, everyone.
Oh, it's a fun one with strongman. I've said this many times. I think in the last 20 years, I haven't woken up with something not hurting. But if something wasn't hurting, I think I was dead. So it makes me feel alive. I like to challenge myself. It's fun. What else are we going to do? You're trying to get me to play golf. So strongman seems more fun than that to me.
Definitely. Cousin Fred, thank you very much for the super chat. Loz, move to Texas or Tennessee. Good for strongman.
100% move to Texas. I've never been to Tennessee, so maybe we need a trip there. But Texas, I absolutely love.
There you go. I know we can't say it. I can't say it.
What?
I was going to say we're going to be going to Texas later in the year, but I can't say which competition it's for because I'll ruin their exciting announcement.
You best not say.
I've messed it up now.
It's not a show that I'm at.
You do, and we've spoken about it. But I'll speak to you.
Am I going?
It's up to you. We'll talk later. Denise, thank you so much for the super chat. Mitch, you've made your feelings known in the past about tire flipping comps. Are you surprised at all that Brian included one in Strongest Man on Earth? Sorry.
Surprised in a way and not surprised in a way. Surprised in the sense that I thought that we were done, but not surprised in the sense that Brian wants to kill us. And I see where he's coming from, and I don't necessarily fault him for it because he does want it to be the hardest show. And I think he's very proud of that. But I prefer the approach that some of the other promoters have taken, where they recognize that you want guys to be around for quite a while to build the sport and to create fans and to create some loyalty. Where Brian just wants to put on the heaviest, hardest, most difficult show possible. Loss has talked about some ways in which the tire can be safer, which I hope is taken on board. But it is a concern to me, absolutely. And when you look at all of the events, it is a concern for how many guys are going to be able to make it through that. Now, here's a difference. I think that show is too heavy and too hard, but I don't have a problem with it per se. It's fine. Like, it's going to be difficult, but this is a job that I've chosen. And anyone who accepts the invite, you sign up to do those events, and I'll do them, and I'll train hard, and I'll stay injury free the best I can. But there's a lot of things in there where I'm like, that's going to be hard. I think I have the reaction that Brian wants us to have. When you look at the events, if I looked and I went like, yeah, got it, no problem. I think he would be upset.
Question to add on to that for you.
Yeah.
Do you reckon there's anyone that could potentially get invited that won't do it because it looks so hard?
Yes, I would assume that Luke Richardson won't do it, and I assume that Mateusz won't do it.
Yeah, I was going to say Mateusz. Mateusz won't do that, I don't think.
It's so interesting with Brian because he's trying to do amazing things for the sport. And the only criticism I have of Brian is he disregards everything else. Like, he doesn't even want to talk about or think about anything else. But as an athlete, you have to.
Do you mean the rest of the competitions that are
yes,
put on track?
yes.
Yeah.
So, like,
I was going to say.
Strongest Man on Earth is everything.
Yeah, to him it is,
and I get that. And it's going to be an amazing show. But as an athlete, you're thinking, you know, Mitch has got World's Strongest Man, then he's got Giants Live, then he'll go to Strongest Man on Earth. We want to try and have an attempt at breaking the deadlift record this year. There's a lot of other things to think of. Same for other athletes. You know, Luke Richardson is going to be looking at doing different shows, and you've got to plan your year out effectively. So it's up to you as an athlete to take that responsibility to think, okay, this competition isn't for me. And that could potentially hurt Brian because he'll think, oh, they don't want to do my comp. But it's not that. Some of them are just going to think, I might never compete in strongman again. You know, we've seen athletes. You take, you know, the bell tote at the Arnolds has finished careers. So there's certain events in this competition that are quite scary for athletes, particularly if you are an athlete that picks up injuries a little bit easier. You're not going to want to do this if you want to prolong your career. It is a tough competition. And, you know, if you enter it and you accept that, you've got to think of those things. Like, we've had a brief chat about it. We won't be going there to break records. We'll be going there to win. And there's a big difference between going there. Like, we'll happily let Lucas Hatton win the log and happily let Thor win the deadlift, as long as we can just pick up points and win the whole show. That will be the goal, because we have to think about the whole year.
Of course. Alpros Cat with a suggestion about Brian sponsoring World's Strongest Man, saying that his show is better. I don't think Brian would want to give them his money. I don't think he could stomach it.
The Brian Shaw World's Strongest Man.
He is sponsored by the strongest man on earth. Leighton with the members comment, hey all, great to see you on a live, Mitch.
Hello.
We're very appreciative of Mitch. It's the least he can do after taking my husband away. Shane Fowler from the chat. Hey, Shane.
Binging is horrible.
Say hello to Shane.
Hi, Shane. We've been talking a lot about your bag tossing.
Yeah, you're damn good at it.
How on earth you're so good.
Hedgehog, thank you very much for becoming a member. Oh, I can't spit it out. It's been such a long week. We've been live for over an hour. I'm trying to sort of wrap things up. Nathaniel, thank you for the super chat. Will we see a hip harness or backlift again at World's Strongest Man?
I don't think so. No,
I don't think so either.
It's not visually the best event to watch.
Well,
no.
Will we see the strongest man on earth?
Maybe.
Probably.
Maybe.
7,000 pound skull spine crusher.
The most weight ever lifted.
And you must hold it while Brian slaps you across the head.
And hold your feet on a grid in a certain spot.
I like I said, though, for what I'm saying about strongest man on earth, to be very clear, I think that is the hardest show to win in strongman. I think there's a lot of pride to be had in that.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. If Colin Bryce isn't that big part of Worlds, how come Thor won't compete? Is his main problem with Colin and Eddie? There's always more to things than the public are going to be aware of. We know a little bit more than that, but it's not really information for us to share, is it? Would you agree, Loz?
Yeah, I'd agree. Like,
it's pretty straightforward. It's not overly complicated.
No. Like, Thor has a problem with Colin. He's made that clear, and Colin does work at Giants Life as an
at World's Strongest Man.
World's Strongest Man. His role is less than it used to be, but he's publicly said if Colin's involved in something, he's not going to take part in it. And Colin was the referee when Eddie and Thor had their issues.
The impasse, as I understand it, is the documentary.
Yes.
And the documentary was co-produced by Colin, and the documentary is on Eddie's channel, and Thor wants it down. Of course, Eddie's not going to take it down.
Yeah.
And so
Colin took it down from the Giants Live, but Eddie refused to take it down.
Right.
And that's, it should never have been made. I stand by that. But
it shouldn't have
we're
been
going
made.
back, kind of repeating the same thing all again. I've said myself, and I think you probably agree with me, I think Thor could do very well by competing in Worlds or competing in the Giants Live Deadlift World Championships and going there and breaking the record on the same, equipment and doing it in their comp. But Thor is his own person. He's going to make his own choices, and we respect that.
I support that,
Yeah.
Just the same as if I don't compete in Worlds next year.
Yeah.
I would hope that other people would support you standing
absolutely.
for something.
Like, just because it's my opinion. Like, my opinion is not to let business get in the way. I think in terms of just a business opportunity, it's good for him to do the Deadlift World Championships, and that be where you try and break the record. But I have nothing against Thor making a choice.
Yeah,
it's his choice. I respect that. I'll just give my own opinion on what I would do.
Yeah.
See, you and me are very different in that respect, Loz,
I
because
know.
I would burn a bridge. I am petty, and I will
You're
hold
very
a grudge
petty.
for the rest of my life. Yeah, I will. I will. Comment from James Jeffers. With the talent of guys that compete at North Americas, do you think that the podium guys should get a shot at Giants Live? I think it could be a straight up qualifier for World's Strongest Man, considering Britain's Strongest Man is. I think North America's is a harder competition than Britain's.
Who was on the podium in North America? We had Lucas Hatton, Maxime Boudreau. So I can't remember. Was it Trey Mitchell? I can't remember off the top of my head.
I don't know that. Did Trey do it?
I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm sure someone in the comments will say, but it's a great standard of athletes.
Yeah,
you know, they're all athletes that are more than capable of winning shows and being at big major shows. So
my gut says no, it shouldn't be an automatic qualifier, but on merit you should get qualified for something out of it. Do you know? And the reason I say it shouldn't be an automatic qualifier is because we have the official strongman column that gets people to OSU, it gets people to Giants, gets people to World's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
And if we start branching out of that column, then okay, well, should Australia's strongest be in? And how many people do we start allowing in? And then you get to the issue with OSG where they've got all of these qualifiers all over the place, and you can just choose the qualifier with no one else in it. Yeah. I'm not saying in North America, I think the people from North America should be in on merit because you're just good enough. But automatic seems like it's opening a bit of a can of worms.
I appreciate that. Do you think Strongest Man on Earth is too close to the Deadlift World Championships this year?
Yeah, but they don't care about each other.
Yeah, it's two separate organizations that don't give a damn. So they're not going to work together. And it goes back to what I said earlier about as an athlete, you've got to decide how you're going to plan your year out. What's more important to you? What's your goals? Where you're going to peak? Where you're going to just be, 80, 90%.
And I got 500 to my knees on one session of prep. Yeah. So I'll be strong as for Strongest Man on Earth. We'll carry that through and focus on deadlift for a month. I believe the connotation of the question is, will it impact me? As long as I don't get hurt as Strongest Man on Earth, which is not a guarantee, then no, it won't.
Super chat here. Thank you very much, Paige. No. Mitch recently said his biggest weakness was grip. There's a world grip champion near you in Canada. I don't know how to say his name.
Eve.
Loz, do you know that name? Any chance that you guys would do a collab?
I don't know. I suppose it's an unconscious incompetence for me. I don't know how that would make a good video, just like holding on to things.
Maybe it's so nerdy.
I don't know. But yeah, potentially. But also, if someone was, I don't know, their weakness was something I was really good at, yoke. Would I suggest you come learn yoke off me? Probably not. And if you really wanted to improve your yoke, would I suggest going to Laws? Probably not. I would want you to go to someone who was never good at yoke, train themselves really, really hard to figure out how does that work. Now, Laws is an exception because he's coached lots of people now and has that experience. Yeah. But I think it's just a misnomer to say, since you're really good at something, you should do it.
Like, don't go to Shane for bag throwing.
Yeah, I wouldn't go to Mark Felix for grip.
Yeah.
No.
Because Mark's hand is twice the size of mine. He's just got a genetic gift in that area.
I have talked to the guy who runs the Grip World Championships. We've talked about Eve before. Is it possible for me to get some advice of him or talk to him? Sure, absolutely. Will it be a YouTube video? I would have to kind of conceptualize if that is interesting in any way. Maybe it is, maybe it's not.
Fair. Shame on us, Lars. Jeff Capes, 2-time World's Strongest Man
winner.
Jeff
Capes, absolutely. How can we forget Jeff?
I know, that's shocking.
Yes.
Ryan with the super chat, thank you very much. Mitch, if you had to pick one event at Strongest Man on Earth that you're most worried about because of performance or injury, which would it be?
Performance is fine. I'm not worried about performance. Funny enough, it's the yoke. It's a yoke and I've talked about the belt out before, but I've talked about that in a 5-event Arnold show. It's a different story than an 8 event with many maxes at Strongest Man on Earth. It's just from the ankles to the knees to the hips to the low back. There's so many things that can go wrong there. So yeah, it's difficult.
Another one of our famous friends in the chat. Right, we are all caught up on comments. We've been online for over an hour. I'm guessing dinner must be nearly ready for you guys.
Yeah, we're getting hungry.
Okay, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you very much. Do you have any fun plans for this coming week? Oh, you're going to bloody Vegas tomorrow, aren't you?
Going to Vegas tomorrow.
Honestly,
I'm going to say I'm going to take Laws to Top Golf. And now, come to think of it, we could probably make that a video. We're going to go see Nick Best, and we're going to watch Nick Best hopefully squat 800 for the, I believe, 74th year in a row. And we'll probably get together with Flex Lewis, but that might just be more as friends and social than any sort of online content. But the thing is, prep is like my prep is not like a fun thing to be a part of per se. Like it's fun to do the training, but I still have my life. I still have to work. It's 90% of the day is just normal stuff.
Yeah, we're just kind of getting on with work, and
But as I've said, the best thing is that we have been on 23 podiums together and had all these victories and all of these great memories that we've shared from across the pond, but we've never actually been together for any part of it.
Yeah.
And so I think when I remember this, I'm not really going to remember this as the prep into whatever I end up doing at winning World's Strongest Man. It's just, here's this big chunk of my life that's been incredibly productive with a good friend and mentor. And now I actually have something substantial to hold on to from that.
Yeah.
Him coming out, I was thinking at first, it was like, okay, well, I hope he doesn't come out and like I kind of flop at Worlds or I come fourth or something crap.
Sure.
But I've sort of quickly come to the conclusion that now we just have an actual in-person shared experience from the past 3 years of probably both of our best professional successes that we've shared together. And now we have something from that. So for me, that's largely what it is. We'll have some fun this week, do some interesting things. And I told him he came for 3 weeks and it was planned to have nothing for the 3 weeks. And then I just happened to have a favor asked of me to go to Vegas. And I said, if you want to be a part of a Mitch Hooper prep, you're going to be a part of a Mitch Hooper prep. It's just what we do.
Wow. I hope you have a fabulous week.
We'll send you a picture.
Don't bother.
I hope Alexa continues to be exceptionally difficult.
Oh man, it's been such a week. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We do still have some videos coming out this week that we pre-recorded before Loz got up and abandoned me, and really, really hoping that we're going to be able to make some World's Strongest Man announcements and videos very soon also.
Let's hope so. Keep our fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. But thank you all for joining us. Loz, what the hell am I doing? Why am I trying to wrap it up? You do it.
No, you're doing a great job. You keep going. You should do a video on your own. You're doing fantastic.
I absolutely should not. What a shit show it would be.
You got to get Colin Bryce on, remember?
Oh God, yeah, maybe we'll see. Yeah, I'll try and speak to Colin. I'm waiting for announcements so me and Colin can actually talk about Worlds. So right now we don't even have the full lineup. So what would be the point?
Indeed. Right. We will speak to you soon. Guys, take care. Liz, love you lots, and we'll speak to you guys very, very soon. Keep watching. Okay. Subscribe to the channel, buy the merch, subscribe to Mitch if you're not already, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Like the video, do the things, do the stuff, smile and wave.